Good afternoon. Store security called us about unpaid items.
I didn't steal anything. I'm just a customer. Mom, stay on the line. I'm being harassed.
Ma'am, keep your hands where I can see them.
You can't hold me here.
Take your hand out of the jacket. Show me your hands.
On a busy afternoon on October 14th, police officers rushed to a local big box retail store. Loss prevention officers had just called for help after a woman set off the store theft alarms and refused to stop walking. She kept moving toward the exit, ignoring every call to pull over and show her receipt. What should have been a simple 2-minute talk about a missed item quickly turned into a chaotic nightmare. Instead of staying calm, the suspect made a split-second decision. She reached deep inside her heavy winter jacket, pulled out a strange hidden object, and decided that total defiance was better than cooperating with the law. When officers pulled up to the shopping center, the store security guards were already standing near the double glass doors, blocking the woman from leaving. She was pacing back and forth, clutching a heavy shoulder bag tightly against her side, and speaking loudly into her cell phone. The responding officer stepped out of his patrol car, keeping his hands free and his body language relaxed to avoid causing a scene in front of the weekend shoppers. He walked up to the woman with a steady, peaceful voice. "Good afternoon," he said. "Store security called us because you match the description of someone concealing unpaid items in your bag. I just need to see your ID so we can clear this up." Instead of handing over her license or simply talking to the officer, the woman instantly snapped. She threw her free hand in the air, raised her voice so everyone around could hear, and took a quick step backward.
Steal anything.
"I didn't
I'm
steal
just
anything.
a customer.
I'm just a regular
Mom, stay
customer,"
on the line. I'm being
she yelled
harassed.
into the microphone of her phone. "Mom, stay on the line. I'm being harassed by this officer right now." She kept her eyes darting between the parking lot exit and the store entrance, acting utterly confused about why anyone was stopping her. But her hands told a completely different story. Even as she claimed to be an innocent shopper, her fingers twitched near the unzipped pocket of her coat, sending an immediate chill through the officer standing on the pavement. The officer took a small step forward, keeping his hands open and visible to show he wanted to keep things peaceful. But the woman refused to calm down. Instead of reaching for her wallet, she crossed her arms tightly over her chest and started shouting fake legal rules she had probably seen on the internet. "You can't check my stuff without a warrant," she yelled, pointing a finger directly at the officer's chest.
You're breaking the
"Store
law."
guards aren't
Security
police,
saw
so
you
they can't
conceal
hold me
items.
here.
Keep your hands
And you don't have
behind your
any
jacket.
official paperwork to search my personal property. I know my rights, and you are breaking the law." The responding officer stayed completely calm, refusing to let her angry words turn into a shouting match. He took a slow breath, kept his tone steady, and explained the real rules of the situation so everyone on scene understood. "Security watched you conceal items on camera, which gives us legal cause to detain you and check that bag," he said firmly. "Keep your hands away from your jacket." Despite his clear warning, the woman's eyes flickered with panic, and her hands slowly began to slide backward toward the dark shadow of her coat pocket. The air around the store entrance grew thick with tension as the woman ignored the officer's clear instruction. Instead of keeping her hands where everyone could see them, her right arm suddenly slipped deep inside a hidden inner pocket of her heavy winter coat. The officer's eyes widened, and he instantly shifted his body weight, placing his hand over his holster as the situation rapidly tipped from a simple argument into a dangerous standoff. "Take your hand out of your coat immediately and put your hands behind your back, or you're going to be placed under arrest for obstruction," the officer barked, his voice echoing off the concrete walls. Instead of backing down, the woman completely rejected the command. In one fast, jerky movement, she yanked her hand out of her jacket, gripping a heavy metal cylinder. It was later identified as a canister of heavy-duty pepper spray. She took a quick step back, dropped into a low fighting stance, and pointed the nozzle straight at the officer's face, stubbornly refusing to yield. Seeing the weapon pointed directly at his face, the officer knew he only had a split second to act before she sprayed. He lunged forward, grabbing her wrist with both hands to push the canister away from his eyes. The second officer rushed in from the side to help, and a wild, chaotic struggle broke out on the concrete pavement. The woman fought back fiercely, kicking her legs, twisting her body, and trying to pull her arm free to use the metal spray canister. Screams echoed across the parking lot as shoppers stopped and watched the violent scene unfold. "Get off me! You're hurting me! I didn't do anything!" the woman shrieked at the top of her lungs, fighting every single inch of the way. The officers used their combined weight to force her down to the ground, carefully twisting the metal object out of her tight grip and tossing it out of reach on the sidewalk. Even on the pavement, she kept thrashing and kicking her feet, but the officers quickly controlled her arms, pulled them behind her back, and snapped the cold steel handcuffs onto the wrists. Once the officers lifted her off the pavement and placed her securely in the back seat of the patrol car, the woman's loud, aggressive attitude instantly melted away. The harsh shouting stopped, replaced by heavy sobbing and desperate pleas as the reality of her situation settled in. Sitting handcuffed in the back, she began rambling through a string of frantic excuses to anyone who would listen. "I only panicked because I have severe anxiety and medical issues," she cried, wiping her tear-stained face against her shoulder. "My friend handed me that bag inside the store. I didn't even know what was in it. I swear I didn't do anything wrong on purpose." The officer adjusted his gear, closed the rear door slightly to talk to her through the window, and calmly stated the hard truth. He didn't raise his voice or show anger, but his words carried absolute clarity. "You turned a simple misdemeanor citation into multiple felony charges the second you pulled an object and fought us," he explained plainly. As the officer stepped back to check his body camera and gather the evidence scattered across the sidewalk, the suspect fell silent, realizing that her frantic excuses were far too late to undo the damage she had caused. While the suspect sat crying in the back of the patrol car, secondary officers turned their attention back to the crime scene to gather proof. They unzipped the shoulder bag she had been carrying and carefully searched through its contents right on the store counter. Inside, they found several high-value electronics, including brand-new wireless headphones and smartwatches, still in their original plastic packaging with the security tags attached. At the same time, another officer walked into the security room with the loss prevention manager to review the clear store video footage. The security tape completely shattered the woman's story. On camera, officers watched her walk slowly down the electronics aisle, looking over her shoulder to make sure no employees were watching. She clearly grabbed the expensive items off the display shelves, stuffed them deep into the inner lining of her heavy coat, and intentionally walked straight past every open cash register toward the exit. Outside on the pavement, officers also picked up the heavy metal pepper spray canister, placing it into an evidence bag and logging it as a dangerous weapon used to resist arrest. Piece by piece, the evidence piled up, proving that this was not a simple mistake, but a carefully planned crime that went terribly wrong. With the security footage locked away and the stolen electronics safely logged into evidence, officers closed the back door of the patrol car and drove away from the store. The suspect was transported directly to the county jail, where her frantic excuses finally came to a hard end at the booking desk. She was officially booked on serious charges, including petty theft, resisting an officer with violence, and illegal possession of a concealed weapon. What started as a quick stock over a few unpaid retail items ended in a stack of severe criminal counts that will follow her for a very long time. It stands as a chilling reminder of how fast a routine afternoon can completely break down when someone chooses panic and violence over simple cooperation. Do you think store security and the police handled this tense escalation correctly, or did things go too far during the fight on the pavement? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this case engaging, don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more real-life true crime breakdowns.